eviscerate. We'll see what I can do. Welcome to my series where I write my commenters as if they were characters in my upcoming story, Glassheart. Jody, I took a look at your profile. This is what I wrote for you. I hope you're okay with it. It seems like you could never catch a break. Over a century ago, you tried to become a singer, a glyph maker, but they never turned out right. Each time you started to sing, another tune would jump into your head, disrupting the song. The magic becoming wild, shattering the crimson and turning it into dead glass. Cthulhu are supposed to be masters of their craft, but nothing speaks to you, nothing fits right. While others of your kind are making beautiful statues of brass and glass, you spend your time molding bronze figurines. You haven't touched a piece of glass since your time as a singer's apprentice, never able to focus to stay on beat. Your figurines do okay, making enough shims to feed you and your child, selling them cheaply to humans that want to say they own Cthulhu handiwork. Selling to Third Sister also has its benefits to pick up metal on the cheap. Scrappers will sell whatever they can so you can find a decent deal here or there. It's a balancing act, but it's a tightrope you are used to walking. Until you fall ill. Crystallis is a rare disease affecting only a handful of Cthulhu per generation. It is treatable, but expensive. Shims you just don't have. You just can't catch a lucky break. Maybe if you sell off everything, you can afford treatment. But where would that leave you and your child? Things would be different if you were a singer, but that just isn't in the cards for you. There is one way to make shims, a dangerous job, that only the desperate will take, and it's mining for the Glasshearts. The raw power alone would be deadly if hit by a random bolt, but that only means the job will pay well. And, since you are a Cthulhu, the pay would go to your child if you do die. Who knows? Maybe this time you'll get lucky. So, if you were in Jody's shoes, what would you do? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you'd like me to write one about you, please let me know too. I enjoy each and every one of them, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Well, thank you, and I wrote you one. Welcome to my series where I write my commenters as if they were characters in my upcoming story, Glassheart. Lindsay, I took a look at your profile. I see that you're a One Piece fan, so I wrote you a pirate. I hope you enjoy it. Unlike the stories from your youth, life aboard a pirate ship is hard. Between the heat, the sandstorms, and the myriad of chores it takes to keep a ship above the dunes, it almost makes you wish you never left your life in Third Sister. Almost. You try to focus on the positives. First, you get to live somewhere other than a mountaintop. There are a few small towns in the Agrave Desert, and not to mention Salvas and the North Star, which is always a treat to visit. Since all the loot is divided evenly amongst the crew, you're never short on shims, and you get to enjoy the towns to their fullest, which does make up for spending weeks at a time on a ship. If you have to name your favorite part of life on the ship, it would easily be the gallery. These birds are not only a good source of eggs, but they also do well to keep down the bug population. It's almost like a hobby of yours to get a new gallery each time you go into town for a visit. Someone that also appreciates the gallery and the eggs that they produce are the ship's cook. The two of you building a rapport over these last few years, and he always makes sure to add a few extra dashes of sugar with your biscuits. If there is one person you could do without, it would be the ship's dreamer. While a great source of information about merchant trade routes, they believe that they can lord over the rest of the crew with that information. But all members are equal out on the sands. Every member of the crew gets an equal vote in what they do. Lately, though, the Dreamer has started to go to certain members of the crew to make sure that the vote will be in their favor before giving information to the captain. You hear about this from the cook who confided in you that he was approached by the Dreamer. He is unsure of what to do and asked the two of you to work together. What would you do? So, what would you do in her shoes? I'd love to hear about it. Let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like me to write one about you, please let me know down below as well. I enjoy each and every one of them. Don't forget to follow for more stories, and I'll see you all in the next one. Well, let's get into it then. Welcome to my series where I write my commenters as if they were characters in my upcoming story, Glassheart. You already took a look at your profile. This is what I have for you. I hope you enjoy it. One thing you could never understand is your people's mistreatment of humans. You grew up listening to the teachings of the Trinity, how the humans are savage, that need the guidance of an intelligent and superior species like the electee, or they would kill each other off over petty squabbles. I mean, look at Third Sister, they say. We invite them onto one of the mesas of Dolrim and see how they choose to live. Violence, crime is the human way. The electee need to protect them from themselves. However, your experience with the humans has been a different story. Not only are they intelligent, they can be kind and loving. Really, the only outstanding differences that you've noticed are their strange faces and their unnatural short lifespans. Nature can be cruel. You do have a friend that moved to Third Sister and opened a shelter for the wayward humans, and you donate to them, but there must be something more that you could be doing. Dolrim's political structure is shaky at best, mostly just the elders that fight amongst themselves in a bid to curry favor with the Trinity. If humans are going to gain any type of protection, it would need to come from them, a task that is easier said than done. Though you aren't alone in this endeavor, a few of the youngest generation speak, albeit quietly, about doing something more for the humans, but no one dares defy the will of the Trinity. You have decided to start small, build a program. Electee are actually encouraged to have a hobby to pass the time, and above board, it would not be any different. First Sister has so much, so you decided to collect food that would otherwise go to waste, using your friend's shelter as a distribution center. The hope is that if enough humans have access to food, they can focus their time on building their society, and over the last few months, it seems to be working. The area around the shelter starts to turn around, buildings are being repaired, and the humans are spending their hard-earned shims on improving their life instead of just surviving. You plan to take your findings to some of the more open-minded elders, but your family approaches you, asking you to drop the matter entirely. Your little project is starting to attract the wrong attention. They fear for not only your life, but theirs as well. Will you continue the project? What would you do? I hope you enjoyed the story. And what would you do if you were in her shoes? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you'd like me to write one about you, please let me know that as well. Don't forget to follow for more stories, and I'll see you in the next one. Well, let's find out. Welcome to my series where I write my commenters as if they were characters in my upcoming series, Glassheart. See how I took a look at your profile? This is what I have for you. I hope you enjoy it. A merry life and a short one. This motto has been passed down through generations, and it's one of the first phrases you heard when you stepped aboard a dune sail and into a life of piracy. It wasn't your first choice. Your dreams was to be a performer, to stand on stage entertaining humans, Cathor, and electee alike. But being shimless in Third Sister doesn't give you a whole lot of options. You know a few people that have joined the gangs, but that isn't the life for you. Something from the dunes just calls out to you. Another reason is gangs are for life, and at least on a dune sail, you leave when you want to. The plan was to survive a few raids, save your shims, and find a nice apartment in Second Sister to start a new life. Clear sands. It takes longer than expected. Surviving on the sands takes serious shims, especially if you get glyphs. Having glyphs won't guarantee your survival, but not having them almost ensures you won't. It isn't all raids and adventure. Ships can have a lot of downtime, and the crews are starved for entertainment. There isn't a day that went by when you couldn't sing for the crew. A merry life indeed. After 2 years, you finally leave the ship a different person than when you stepped on. With your sack filled with shims, it's time to live a boring life in Second Sister. You get that apartment and start the hunt to be a performer. It takes a while, but eventually you land a paying gig with an all-human troupe working out of Second Sister. The boss is reasonable enough and doesn't care about your past. She claims that you're now family, and family looks after one another. You settle into your role like a hob in a tree, performing for humans and Cathor alike, with the occasional private show for an electee. Being an ex-pirate does offer a bit more combat experience than the average juggler, and you had to step in on occasion to escort an overly enthusiastic off the premises. This builds trust with the troop leader, marking you as someone to depend upon, which is why you weren't surprised when she called you into her office for a cleanup job. What was surprising was the dead electee on the floor. The troop leader says that it was for the good of the troop and is asking for your trust. What do you do? I hope you enjoyed my story, and I'd like to hear about what you would do if you were in her shoes. And also, if you'd like me to write one about you, let me know down in the comments below. I enjoy each and every one of them, and I'll see you all in the next one.